Hi, I'm Tara for HealingCrystals.com.
Hi, I'm Lourdes from HealingCrystals.com.
Today we want to talk to you about crystal grids. It's a very popular way of using your crystals for different intentions. And today we're going to talk about working a grid for prosperity and for luck.
Yes, we both like to work with grids, but in different ways. I like structured grids. If you go online and Google crystal grid, you will find tons of samples out there.
There's all different kinds, yeah.
This is one I picked up. And what I like about this grid is that it has a lot of points. And for me, points are very important. But if I'm using one for prosperity, I usually just like to work with the circle part. I may actually cut this one and just use a circle or enlarge it. So when I'm using a crystal grid for prosperity, I like to use emeralds and citrines. I may take a piece of emerald, a raw emerald, that's already been infused with intention. I find that helps a lot. I would place it in the center, and for me, I like to take pieces of citrine and place them around each of the points. As you can see, I go a little crystal happy.
That feels so energetic. I can feel it
I know
already.
you can already.
Yeah.
Then to activate it, now I used all different sizes here. I always like the center stone to be larger. That is my personal preference.
And you can mix tumbled with raw too, in this kind of a thing. And sometimes that's nice too, because you're bringing in different vibrations, and the more the merrier. So
once I place them down, they've all been infused, my intention of prosperity. I like to take my hand and imagine white light, and I like to go in and out.
That's how you activate the grid.
And yes, if you notice, I missed one here. I actually missed two.
You missed two, yeah.
So I like to go, okay, from the center up, over and down. From the center up, over and down. From the center up, over and down. And continue clockwise 3 times. That's my preference. Then I leave it out someplace, for me, feng shui wise, it would be in the career corner of the house, which for me is the left-hand corner from the door, the uppermost left-hand corner from the door. And I leave it there. And I charge it once a week. Do you charge it more often, or how often do you leave it?
I would say about once a week is a good way to charge it. Something that I've done previously with the prosperity grid and using this particular scenario was that I actually took pennies. And I put pennies on the grid along with the crystals. So like for instance, if you're using this scenario, on the outside points, what I did was I put pennies. So you've got a little bit of the copper. I mean, I know nowadays like pennies aren't made completely of copper, but they still have copper in them. So you've still got the copper kind of helping to activate the grid. Plus, I mean, money is a symbol of prosperity. So you've got that there as well. And I found that to be a very, it was a very productive, very energetic grid that worked really well for me. And it looked really cool too.
That is great. One other thing you may want to do is place under the grid your intention on a piece of paper. Say, I am looking for abundance in this area of my life.
You can even write it on the back of the grid if you want to.
Exactly.
If you don't want to put another piece of paper or something like that too, but that's a nice idea as well. And when you're charging it, keep in mind what your intention is as well. Don't just walk by and say, "Oh, I charge it." Spend a few minutes and really. One of the best purposes of this is that it's a constant reminder of the prosperity that you are expecting and you are attracting into your life. And this is something like when you've had a bad day, when things aren't going your way, which is going to happen to all of us. This is there staring you right in the face saying, no, it is all going to go your way eventually.
Yes. And it's just a matter of having patience. The universe doesn't work on the same timeline that we do.
It doesn't, unfortunately.
With this grid, where we're talking about grid, you mentioned the copper pennies. I like to color them in. I didn't do it for this particular grid, but I would color in. Use whatever feels right. You could do yellows and greens, or any other color that reminds you of prosperity. For some people, that may be citrine and amethyst. Or citrine and garnet, citrine, garnet, and amethyst. Use those colors on your grid. And that will also enhance the energy that you're feeling.
And if you don't really want to, maybe you don't have the space, or maybe like me, you have a cat who likes to knock things all over the place. and you don't want to use this particular kind of a grid. What I like to do sometimes is just kind of make my own simple grid without having the pattern and everything. You can do this, what I will do is I'll use maybe one of my copper plates, and what I'm using here is I'm using orange calcite and moss agate, which I really like, and then the center I've got a green aventurine, which I also think brings in a lot of abundance and attracts prosperity. Another crystal I like to use for that is green tourmaline, which I actually wear all the time. It is very attracting for prosperity and for luck. But you don't even have to have the copper grid. You can just do this real simple on a table.
On a plate.
You do it on your bedroom dresser to remind you when you wake up in the morning, hey, you know what? I'm going to have a prosperous day.
It's true. But let's say some of you are saying, I don't have enough of these crystals. Pictures. You can take pictures, print something off the website and paste them on. You don't have to have them physically. The energy of the crystal will come through.
You could have one crystal, maybe like these are raw green tourmalines. You could have just this in the center, and that can be your grid.
Yes, because you already have points on it. You don't need a lot to make a grid and to make it successful. Intention is the #1 energy source.
Intention is everything. And remember that what they're here to do is they're going to support you. They're going to help raise your energy so that you believe in yourself, because that is really the key to luck and prosperity in everything that you do.
I agree.
For healingcrystals.com, I'm Tara.
And I'm Lourdes.
Have a wonderful day and crystal blessings.
Bye-bye.